Life, Love, and Lipstick.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Life, Love, and Lipstick with Lesley Stewart and myself, Tracy Lynn. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Tracy. How are you doing?
Good. I'm loving the warm temperatures, the sunshine.
Too. Doesn't it just make everybody just seems to be in a bit of a chipper mood?
Yes. And I'm still feeling the effects of the time change though. Like I am still kind of tired, but you're right. Everyone seems like they're in a slightly better mood.
It's nice. It's
It
nice.
is nice. And then to
need
just
that.
feel that heat and open up the windows in the house.
I'm struggling with the heat in my house and when to turn it up and off and on because the nights get cool still, right? So it's very confusing time of year, what to wear, what to send my sons in school, like shorts or pants. But that's okay. It's all
And
right.
of course, all the kids want to wear, they just want to put their shorts on instantly.
Yes.
That's it. And you're like, no, not quite. It's not quite that warm out yet.
Mommy's in layers.
Yeah. And I feel like I've had so many layers on as well. And then by the end of the day, I'm taking it off and then it's cold and I'm having to put it all back on, which is a little bit of a hassle, but that's okay. We can't complain. Double digits.
Yes.
A new week. We're almost at the end of a month already.
Yes. It's just like the light at the end of the tunnel, right? I know what we're still toying around here with, obviously with the pandemic and the vaccinations and the gap between that and, our progress. And of course we're in that third wave. So it's a little hard on people because we're a lot of what ifs, but
yes. And a lot of people talking about a potential lockdown coming.
yeah.
And a lot of people are saying, I can't take it. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm depressed. I don't want to be around. Like, I just don't want to be around other people because other people are miserable. But I mean, obviously we're going to make people laugh today.
Yes, we are. We have lots on the show. I mean, you always come up with interesting things, Tracy. So
yes. Well, you know what? Just wait. Cause after the break, I'm going to tell you where I found my latest gray hair. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Goodness.
Life, Love, and Lipstick.
Hey, welcome back to Life, Love, and Lipstick. And before the break, I mentioned I found a new gray hair, Lesley. Yeah, I found
Tracy
in a spot that I didn't think would probably turn gray. Okay.
Okay. Well, okay.
I know.
First of all, before we get there, when did you get your first gray hair that you can recall? How old were you?
I think it was definitely before I was 30. I think I saw one and then I plucked it. And then my mom said, don't do that because 3 more will come. It's like an old wives' tale.
Yeah, right.
And I did. And next thing you know, I had a few more. But in this particular case, so I'm going to take you back to Saturday. Saturday, this past weekend, I said, I'm going to go get an eyebrow wax. So I'm washing my face. I'm getting things all done up. And I look in the mirror and I have a gray hair in my eyebrow.
Was it all like spirally and like going out on a different direction? Because that's what they do.
Yeah. I don't know. It just popped up overnight. And I'm a little devastated because I didn't think your eyebrows turned gray. I didn't think you could get a gray hair there. So, I mean, I didn't know that other parts of your body would go gray. I'm going to be honest.
Tracy, you can get gray hair anywhere on your body.
Well, yeah, I kind of, I had to Google this one and I found this and anywhere.
Anywhere. So that's what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to go a little more down south, but
no. I'll keep everything above the border. It's radio. So I went to go get my eyebrows waxed and the lady says, okay, when I'm doing your eyebrows, you can't talk. You have your mask on. And I said, okay, but I have an issue. I have a gray hair in my eyebrow. And she goes, oh, don't worry about it, sweetheart. I will fix it all up. I said, okay. I don't know how you're going to fix it up because it's in a good spot. Like if you pluck it, it might have like an empty spot, like a bald spot of an eyebrow. And I have an arch.
Right.
So she said, don't worry about it. It's all fine. She waxed my eyebrows. Off I went the other night. It was last night. All of a sudden, I see this thing. It has it's grown and it's like, it has like eyes on it or something. And it was like staring at me.
Talking to you.
Oh my God, I'm devastated. It was like it was watching me everywhere.
Okay. So I think there is a thing with gray hair that they seem to grow thicker and faster, right? Like they grow at some sort of exponential rate. It's true. I mean, we know if we've taken them out around our hairline or whatever, or crown, and they seem to just pop out of nowhere again. So I think that's what you encountered. I think he said, no, I'm coming back.
I was devastated, and I fill in my eyebrows, right? Because they're a
Yeah.
little bit lighter than my hair, as we've talked about previously. I have lighter hair.
Mhm.
So I had to pluck it out last night.
Oh, just the beginning.
And I looked at that sucker and I'm like, whoa, where did this thing come from?
Oh, well, I actually just started tinting my eyebrows because my eyebrows are so fair. And so that might be, and they do henna brows now, which is a little bit more filling in the area. It's almost more like a tattoo, temporary tattoo. So I'm not there yet. Eyebrows scare me because you can look very angry if you don't do it right.
You have to make sure you are really happy with your eyebrow person, because if it is done wrong, it changes the whole look of your face.
It does.
You could be a super happy, positive looking person, or you could be a very curious person if they screw up one eyebrow and one's higher than the other, or you can look very angry.
That's true. So I'm just saying that tinting could be a thing, because then maybe it could take care of it, at least takes care of the color, but sometimes again, the texture is different than your average hair. And that could be a problem. You can get the burly, like older man ones that start going out all over the place and curl down into your eyeball.
That's what I was thinking about. I was like, since when do I have like this old man eyebrow thing happening?
Yeah.
But I got rid of it. I plucked it.
Yeah.
You're right. I might have to look into just tinting it, because that is something that the girl said. She goes, you just maybe just need your eyebrows tinted a little bit.
And it's, you know what? Yes, that's right. You just go gradual with the tinting. Anyone who's going to do it, take it easy. Just start off lightly, because you will look very, very angry at everyone if you do it wrong.
See, that's the thing. Eyebrows are very important, especially because we are wearing a mask now all the time.
Yes, highlights
the focus on the eyebrow.
Right.
So it has to go, it's all mathematical. It's got to line up and look perfect with the, with, you can put so much underneath the mask. I kind of shoved the crow's feet and everything underneath the mask, but I don't know.
Shove it under. You're just like tucking it. But I've had some girlfriends who've told me they've just had random hairs grow on their face, like a weird one just out of anywhere. And I think that's a hormonal thing, which we're going to talk next week's show.
And you know what? I actually have like those what are they called? Pluckers?
Tweezers? Yeah.
Tweezers. I carry them in my bag just
because of random stuff. Right. And you may not see them unless you're in the car. And like, what if you're sitting beside your significant other and they look in the sunlight and they see it glistening out of your chin?
And you're trying to be like super sexy, but then you're like, oh my gosh.
Tweezers.
Yeah. Look the other way. Yeah. Between that and a Sharpie, because sometimes you get that random gray that just happens to pop up and I got to fill it in. So I just like that, but that's okay. Speaking of couples, this is a stat that you sent to me and I was quite shocked by it. Some couples continue to stay married, but are unhappy. People in healthy relationships live 8 years longer just in the good health and well-being. And those that are in unhappy marriages cut their life by 10 years.
Yeah. Tracy, isn't that like the stress, right? It's the daily chronic. We know chronic stress is a killer. That's it.
Stress can come out in many parts of our body, and we can either have that aura about us where people can sense that we're stressed. We look like we're stressed. May it be tiredness looking, your skin looks off, your whole body, like your eyes even droop. I feel like when you're stressed. But this stat, unbelievable. When you get married, makes you think twice before you say I do. Especially in the world that we're in right now, we've learned a lot about our other halves because you've had a lot more time together.
Yes.
You can either live longer or die younger.
Yes. So it's better to be alone than to be in an unhappy marriage. Yes. But the best situation is to be in a happy marriage, because obviously the partnership, the connection, I mean, there's so much that comes with that, right? But as you say, I mean, you really have to think about, I think it's the biggest decision of your life is who you marry, of any decision you can make, because you're supposed to share your paths and you start going off in different directions. You got to come back, you got to support. There's a lot to carry, right? And I really do believe it's the biggest decision.
They say that early divorce happens within the first 6 years of marriage. I think that's usually, or that 7-year itch that they talk about. But when you talk about marriage, you think of if you were younger, I think it's totally different depending on where you are in your age range.
Yes.
You're young, you're like, yep, life's perfect, this and that. And then you tend to not see all the red flags maybe. And then you end up divorced. But I think when you're a little bit older, more confident about yourself, more secure in your life,
Yeah.
and you don't settle, right?
Well, I think, you mentioned the red flags when you're younger. I don't even think you know what the red flags are sometimes when you're younger, right? Like
No,
you don't know exactly.
no.
And you I know me personally, I would just let things go. I was just
Mhm.
like, I'm like really easy going. And I'm like, you know what? We're different people. This is
Yep.
okay. And you just kind of let that stuff go. But it
Yeah. Yeah, depending on where you are, like I said, in your relationship, you tend to overlook certain things. We talk about, and in toxic relationships, in my opinion, it is such an overused word lately that people forget what the real meaning of it is. It's
yeah.
not a trend. It's not something that just happens. I
Mm.
mean, there are signs, and I know that they say that toxic relationships are really hard to navigate. So either you're in a toxic relationship or maybe you just don't love each other. Right?
Yes. Yes. And that's why I think, when it comes to people separating, sometimes two people, they're two mature adults saying, you know what, we're not working out anymore. You're going left, I'm going right. And
Mhm.
everything is just resolved easily. You can do, nice, simple mediation and off you go. And
Yeah,
then
right.
there's most often the one side or both sides fighting. And it's just takes
You
forever.
see, I, for myself, very angry when I get into that very angry mode. I'm just like, no, I'm done. This, and I walk away. Right.
Okay.
So some signs that they're saying is your partner gaslights you by either telling you how you feel or devalues your feelings when you share them.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, trigger right there. It's like, no,
Oh,
I actually feel like pizza tonight. I
yeah.
don't feel like a burger. So
Right. Right.
yes.
Or, you could have a relationship where someone will say to you, gets upset with you when you show emotion.
Yeah, or you're being too sensitive right
Be
now.
sensitive. Like I've had that where I'm an emotional person. So I'll be sensitive. I'll cry. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're crying again.
Here we go again, your
You're like,
tears. Yeah. Like, or you're a really good actress. It's like, no, these are like feelings that actually are true. Like,
real.
do you think I want to cry all the time? No.
Well, it's
Um,
demeaning, right? And you don't feel like you're being heard, obviously.
and that's a hard thing. And a lot of people get that confused. They're like, no, no. It's like, no, he is speaking, he or she, because it's both sides,
Sure.
he or she is speaking for you. You have a voice, use it. The other
Yes.
one is your partner blames you for a problem that they caused.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bit of narcissism in there too. We've talked about that in past shows where they can almost just can turn it around back on you. And that's where things get very frustrating. It's like, this is absolutely not me. It's not me pretending it's not me.
Yeah.
It's just not me.
And then you start to second guess yourself
Yes.
thinking,
Mhm.
oh, well, maybe it was me. Maybe that is what I meant. And it just came across the wrong way.
Mhm.
Because as you said, narcissists, very, very smart, very
Yes.
intelligent people. They know
Mhm.
exactly, no matter if male or female, because
Mhm.
males, like guys, we know that there's women out there
Oh,
that
yes.
they're the reason for the toxic relationships.
Yes.
Another one, they isolate you from family, friends, or plans.
Oh, yes. Or they start, yeah, or start to, maybe if you're in the working world, your career, they maybe tell you, oh, you know what? You don't need to work anymore. We're good. And that's that control thing, right? Start
Yes.
to cut you off from your social circles, and that includes your employment. That can be very dangerous.
Yes. Or they try to like sabotage
Mm.
your career.
Yes.
And I don't mean sabotage directly.
Mhm.
Kind of what I mean is when they put you down to make you feel less than, or they're saying things. We've heard this all the time from people who have talked about toxic relationships. They made me feel like I was not good enough. It jeopardized my career. It jeopardized my job because I wasn't going in there 100%.
Right. That's a
Right.
big one. You know what? That'll affect all areas of your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If that person can somehow manage to make you feel beneath them. And then
Mhm.
I think, again, it comes back to that control, because if they can get you down there, then they're
Mhm.
controlling you, right? Really, you're like, well, I guess you're all I have. You'll put up with more because I mean, I don't have the strength to go out and be on my own or be my best with anybody else.
Mhm.
And same in the working environment, as a parent, as a friend, and that really starts to crush you.
Yeah, and you honestly feel like sometimes, and I've heard this from friends, they say, I actually felt like I just wanted to be alone. I didn't want to be around anybody anymore. And it wasn't because they didn't want to come around or call or text or, pop in to say hi. They
Mhm.
they were extremely tired and drained mentally, emotionally,
Mhm.
and all of that makes you feel physically tired as well.
It does. It really impacts you as a whole. As you said, you can see it on your face. Like I know you and I have both been through our share of stress. So we know what we look like when you're stressed. I mean, there isn't any, you can drink buckets of water and you can get sleep and you barely sleep when you're stressed, but you just get I get that furrow between my eyes and I can't get rid of it.
Those lines that happen in between. And plus when I get stressed, I don't have an appetite. I don't feel like eating.
Yes.
Whereas
And some people go the other way,
yes,
right?
some go the other way where they can't stop eating because that's how they fill their void. It's
Yes.
almost like I just become deflated. It's like, I'm just done. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to think about anything. But yeah, that's a huge one that I've noticed in a lot of the readings is that they isolate you or make you feel like you can't go out. Like you have to ask, can I go out with my friend tonight as an adult?
Right.
Right.
Or you go out and they don't trust you, even though they might be the one that isn't trustworthy. They put it on you.
Yeah, that's another one,
Yes.
which the one that twists things around. And again, it goes back to making us feel as if it's our fault. And men, we're not saying it is just you. We know it's females as well that are probably even worse for that.
Oh, some women are
Oh,
whoa, we get it, guys. We get it. Goes both ways for sure.
Yeah, it definitely does. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. And Lesley, after the break, we're going to continue this list of signs that you're in a toxic relationship. But yeah, being isolated, I have to say, it's kind of a hard one. But there's a little bit more to our list, and we're going to get to it after the break.
Life, love, and lipstick.
Welcome back to Life, Love, and Lipstick with myself, Tracy Lynn, and Lesley Stewart. We're going to continue our conversation about toxic relationships. I'm going to continue this list. It's pretty sad that there's a huge list.
I know. I was just thinking the same thing, that we can actually talk about this at great length. But
I know
these signs, because sometimes we've talked about this before in the past, is that when you're in it, sometimes you can't see it for what it is. You're almost in this little fishbowl.
You're blindsided. Like you really have like your blinders on.
Yes, you do.
And we have there's a problem right there. What is love? How is love supposed to feel? Right?
It depends how you grew up too. Sometimes you don't know, right?
No. And again, no matter if it's how you grew up or past relationships, you accept things that really looking back, thinking, you know what, I probably shouldn't have tolerated with that. I shouldn't have done this. I value myself. Now, this one, are you ready for this next one on the list? They are notorious for playing the victim card.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, it all comes back, I think, to the, a tendency to narcissism and control, where, and then it puts it on you, right? And then you all of a sudden are feeling bad for something you actually didn't do.
Yes. Right? And when you hear women or men speak about this, about an issue that they have, and you're listening to it from top to the end, like from top to finish, you're like, wait, how did this get all twisted around? Right?
Right.
We're very good to listen to someone else and say, oh, here's the issue, here's the problem. But we can't do it for ourselves.
Yes.
But they're always the victim, no matter what. Even if you were to videotape them and prove to them.
Yes.
They're really good at saying, nope, that wasn't me. It was you. It's your fault.
Now, I think this can happen. And again, it goes with both men and women. Obviously, I'm a female. We're females. So we're from our perspective, it's, on the male side, where a man will say, you know what, my wife won't sleep with me. She hasn't slept with me for months and months, and I'm not getting it. So our life's a terrible relationship. It's a mess. So again, he's the victim, but what came first? Why isn't she?
Yeah. Because they say that men cheat because they're not getting it.
Because they're not getting it.
BS.
Yeah.
That is complete BS, because most of the time, and I would probably say more than 50%, they are getting it.
They are getting it.
But sometimes male or female, they don't like it that it's just there. They like the chase because
Yeah.
that's their personality, right?
Sometimes I've heard the line, well, you know what, it's, they're different. So how do you compete with different? I'm sure, women and men have heard this, but it's, how do you compete with different? You can't. If you're married to somebody, you're supposed to be loyal to that person, and you need to sit down and have a conversation. If you're in this stage, you don't go off and be with someone else because there's somebody's different. It's a fresh perspective on sex.
Yeah. Or they say, what's the thing? The grass isn't always greener on the other side because more than likely it's fake. It's fake grass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And grass needs manure. Right. And there are some relations that are definitely full of it.
Right.
But yeah, I read that stat, and they say that women cheat or women leave because of the connection part
Emotional
of it.
connection.
The emotional connection. It has nothing to do with the sexual part of it.
Yeah.
You can please her as much as you want, and she can
Yeah.
get the big O, but it doesn't matter if there's no connection.
Right. Well, that's what I talked to some of my guy friends in the past who've had situations, and I said, but have you ever maybe thought, like, have you lost that connection? Do you talk to her and hug her and love her and kiss her and speak positive words and comments to her, all those things you used to do? Because if it's just, you're just kind of talking dirt to her all the time, you're disrespectful, and then you think you're going to get her naked, girls just cut off. Like we just literally shut down.
There has to be more to foreplay than,
we need to like really, like, how girls, when girls will say, oh, guys, you're so cute, and guys don't like that, but girls, we mean it in the most endearing way. Trust us. We want to look and think you're hot and handsome, but when we say you're cute, that is so endearing. That means we really like you too.
Yes. And two, we change over the years. If you look at a relationship, no matter how long it is, from the time that you first meet and the time to right now, you change. You should change. You should change and evolve mentally, physically, emotionally. And of course, sometimes you look different because we are getting older, and that is not an excuse. Take care of yourself, but sometimes things just, it's just going to happen. Things are going to move, flop over, get some wrinkles, this and that.
Sure.
I'm not competing with a 20-year-old. You want a 20-year-old? I hope that she puts up with all your stuff too.
You can't. And you know what? I think the best thing to be, if you're in a long-term relationship, marriage or not, if, when you feel comfortable in your own skin around that person, that's true love. That is, you feel respected. And I think I've always said, like, love from the inside out. And if you love from the inside out, it doesn't matter when you are 65 or 85 and you look at each other, you still see what you used to see. That's how it should be.
And you feel good.
Yeah.
And it's a different feeling from when you compare relationships and you actually are in love with someone. It can be scary because you're like, whoa, what are these feelings? Like, whoa, I'm not sure if I like this.
So then fear of losing too. Fear of losing that person.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The fear of the unknown, the fear of these, what are these warm feelings that I'm having about this person? You're kind of like walking on eggshells. Yeah.
You're like kind of hot.
When's the other shoe going to drop? Right.
Yeah.
So, that's a whole other discussion, but continuing this one, you're experiencing more stress, anxiety, or excessive worry, or even a weakened immune system being in a toxic relationship. Right?
Yes.
That would not have crossed my mind as something that, you're sitting around going, I'm going to check this list. How's my relationship doing? I would not have known that it could actually weaken your immune system.
Okay. I have to tell you, and I'm being more open. Most people hear me, but my big past relationship, that's what really finally made me go, was I actually was worried about my health. I was so concerned about my health. I could feel the stress racing through my body. I could feel it. I wasn't sleeping through the night at all. And it just actually takes over your life. I really thought, I was like, oh my gosh, I have this, I have that. I was paranoid. And I thought, and I just said, like, to him, I said, this is what's the problem here, is that I'm worried about my health now.
Because it does affect every inch of your body, like you said, inside out.
Yeah.
But when it does get to that point, and I think there's a lot of us that probably wouldn't have connected those two, that if you look back and you're like,
Mm.
wow, I felt sick. Like you literally feel
Yes.
sick. Your body
Mhm.
just stops working.
Mhm. You can almost get like a little, like a shake, a tremor that's just with
Yeah.
you all day. Your body's just buzzing.
Mhm.
And then if you have a little person or people relying on you, your children,
Yeah.
you have to look. I mean, therapists will say, if you don't, like, it's like, again, put the oxygen mask on you first.
Mhm.
How are you supposed to take care of these little people? And you really got to think about the big picture. Take care of you first, or you're not going to be around for them.
See, I
Right.
never put it in that perspective, and I love that you said that because it makes sense. I wish I knew that
Yeah.
looking back,
Mhm.
that you have to take care of yourself, because then you take care of yourself, you're stronger for the little ones.
Mhm.
And I didn't. And actually, at one point, I remember going through my divorce.
Yeah.
I was tired. I was drained. I was like, just, you go through that. Well, what did I do? Like, blah, blah, blah. Well, I was on the couch one day and my little guy, he said, who was little at the time, I had two little ones. He was like, Mommy, are you going to get up and shower today? I really think you should get up and shower.
Oh,
And
I
I
love
thought to
the
myself,
babes, right?
yeah, like
Mhm,
light bulb moment. You're right. I'm going to go shower
mhm,
because it's time for me to get up. It's time
mhm,
for me to move forward,
mhm.
shower and rinse everything away,
Yes.
because life goes on. And
Mhm.
your kids, when they see you, I mean, it's good for them to see us, take a moment, grieve, do whatever, take a breath.
Yeah.
But when they see you down for too long,
Mhm.
they're little. No matter how old they are, they're still little.
It's
And
true.
in this other one is you have nightmares when
Mm.
you're in a toxic relationship.
Wow.
And as you said, you don't sleep. Your sleep
Right.
patterns are completely off.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, sleep patterns are huge, because sometimes we say, hey, oh, it's hormones. It's hormones. Well,
Mm.
maybe not.
No, I remember literally shooting up out of bed. So I must have had a nightmare that maybe I wouldn't necessarily recollect, but I would sit up out of bed and my heart would be racing.
Hmm.
Again, it's just unresolved issues that
Yeah.
you're stuck.
Yeah.
Being stuck is the worst.
Yeah.
And you're relying on that other person to chat with you and let's communicate and let's work on this. And they're in a whole other world away from you. It's a bad feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. And lastly, we'll just quickly talk about what else is on this list, because it's kind of an eye opener too. I mean, I've said it before, men caused a lot of issues in our life, but I also know that there's a lot of women out there that are very toxic. No
Yeah.
matter who they're with or what they're doing, man or female, they're just going to be who they are.
Sure.
Um, you as a person make excuses for their really crappy behavior.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Well, sometimes if it's public or if your friends are seeing it or they know how you feel, it's easy to just keep covering it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Or, oh, they're just too busy. They're
Yeah.
not contacting because they're just too busy. Or, yeah, they must be busy doing this, or they're preoccupied. There's no
Mhm.
time for me. It's okay. It's okay
Mhm.
because they're busy. But yeah, I mean, we can go on, but speaking of toxic relationships affects our body.
Mhm.
And you said inside out, which is a huge thing, but also what kind of plays the same and almost mimics the same,
Yeah.
when the same results.
Mhm.
Um, Toxic products
Yes.
and
And
stuff we
toxic
put
products
on.
from skincare and cosmetics to toxic products we use in our homes to clean the fumes or cleaning our toilets, sprays to clean windows and countertops, like
Mhm.
all of that. People need to be really conscious of what's in those products.
Yes, and if you're not aware and you haven't done your research, it's almost like a relationship. If you haven't done your research
Yeah.
or got your Carfax sheet on the person that you're dating, or
Yep.
they posted on social to say if nobody claims this person within 24 hours, they're good to go. It's the same as reading the fine print when it comes to
Mhm.
products. And I'm just learning about this because I'm honestly would just go to the drugstore and be like, okay, it says it's going to help with my wrinkles or it's going to help with this. And I
Mm.
would put it on my face.
Yeah.
And I started reading about when your skin absorbs it.
Mm.
Ooh.
It does. Your skin absorbs everything you put on it. So our skin is our largest organ on our bodies and everything that touches it goes in. So even from nail polish, like the toluene and nail polish, and then all the phthalates in every kind of cream or lotion, you got to make sure. And you're starting to see, I just noticed CoverGirl now has a clean line.
Yes, an organic line. I did
Yes.
see that the other day.
Pressure from the public is what
Mhm.
makes the stuff change. So if we keep going and buying the good, clean stuff, these
Yeah.
guys can't, they're forced to.
And it's sad to think that they can actually put products out like that. And we trust them because we're watching their marketing, their branding, and we're looking at the women who are promoting them. And we think, wow, well, if they're going to use it, well, I'm going to use it too.
Yeah.
But the stuff that gets put in there,
Mhm.
unbelievable. I never ever followed any of this when it talks about organic or even what you clean with, for example. You're inhaling it. It's still going through your skin.
Yes. Yes.
Scary.
It is scary. It's really scary. And people, if you look at how many products you use a day, I remember there was one time this quiz online, I'll like tick off how many products women in particular can use a lot of products from in the shower, like your shampoos. You have to make sure that they don't have, the sodium lauryl sulfate, the SLL in there.
Yes, because that makes your hair fall out.
Yes.
My 15-year-old daughter told me, Mom, your shampoo that you're using is making your hair fall out.
Yes.
And I stopped using it and my hair hasn't been coming out as much.
Now, the problem sometimes when you're using these sodium lauryl sulfate products is they help suds your hair up more. The actual product will suds more. That's why it's in there. But if you get rid of it, sometimes women will go, oh my gosh, your shampoo doesn't really suds very well. You just need to do more, rub it in your hands, and but you're right. It's actually like counterintuitive. It actually is wrecking your hair.
And like, we need our hair, just like we need our eyebrows.
Oh my gosh, we need our hair.
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, I feel like our topic today has been about toxic relationships, toxic products.
Yep.
And you really have to do your research and be mindful, be open-minded, and not close your eyes thinking that, well, it says that it's going to get rid of wrinkles. Oh no, they said they loved me, but their actions mean something totally different.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I guess we have to educate ourselves a little bit more, see some red flags, see the warning labels. And
so people, for the cosmetics section, there's a website people can go to, cosmeticsinfo.org. Cosmeticsinfo.org, and they can go in and see all the crap that's in our makeup. That's the toxic side of that. For a toxic relationship, that's a whole bunch of other websites.
Oh yeah, you know what? You got questions about toxic relationships, or something that you want to hear from us, or a topic that you want, or you want us to interview someone. Go to our Instagram page, let us know, send us a DM off that, and we're gonna head to a quick break. But don't worry, stick around. We got lots more coming up on Life, Love, and Lipstick.
Life, Love, and Lipstick.
Welcome back to Life, Love, and Lipstick. Yes, it's been quite a fulfilling show, I think. I guess that would be the word.
Yeah, we got a lot off our backs.
Yeah, just imagine what the uncensored version of that topic would be like. You never know. That one might come. Just stay tuned, watch that podcast. Okay, so trending right now. I love this. You brought up, well, when you brought this up, you said Dolly Parton. I was like, okay, I love Dolly. Whatever she's doing, I'm going to do the same thing.
Best.
Yes.
So, but the whole trend right now is, trying to get your vaccinations. Obviously, our friends in the US are ahead of us by a long shot, fortunately and unfortunately. But Dolly actually went to get her vaccination, and Christy Brinkley, of course, who's actually in her 60s as well. But they were wearing the cold shoulder tops. So, the tops, ladies, that have the cutouts on the shoulders, and it kind of exposes, some bigger than others, drop shoulder. Well, you can wear those to get your vaccination.
The peekaboo, the shoulder peekaboo ones. And I love it because I know that I have quite a few, but with this whole pandemic, I haven't really been wearing the same thing, just wearing track pants all the time, a hoodie.
Right. Well, I guess Dolly started it, and now everyone's on it, and they're like, yeah, let's do it, because Dolly's the coolest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whatever Dolly's doing, I think we all kind of follow suit. I mean, how old is she? She's what, 70?
70.
She must, I think she's pushing 75 or 80.
Yes, I would say.
For her big birthday this year, she was supposed to go on the cover of Playboy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, what happened with that?
You know what? I don't really know. I didn't follow that story because it was like a headline, and then that was it. You didn't hear anything else about it.
So I heard that she because she's been, that trailblazer for women from way back in the day. She put her foot down, or she would have never made it looking the way she does in her world back in the 50s and 60s, right? 70s. But she put her foot down. So I heard with this, she did. And I think she had sort of some major restrictions, rules, regulations, but then I don't know what came of it.
Yes, because she's been very open about her look throughout her career. But yeah, I mean, they haven't really said too much about that. But well, I guess
Yeah.
Incredible. I
Well, they've
mean,
been apparently asking her whole life. Apparently they've been on her forever.
yeah, so she is 75 years old, and that was
Yeah.
supposed to be the big celebration, I guess, when she's, I mean, if I look like that when I'm 75, whew, I'll invest in whatever I need to if I'm going to look like that.
I know. You know what? It's funny is my mom looks like Dolly Parton. Now my mom's older, but my mom looks like Dolly Parton. And people used to, when she was younger, people used to stop her all the time and tell her she looks like Dolly.
Serious?
She does. My mom has like bleach blonde hair. She doesn't wear the wigs like Dolly does, but she looks a lot like her. Her face, everything. Yeah, it's pretty cute. Yeah, yeah. I know.
I have to see this.
I know.
See this.
To post a picture of my mom at some point, except she doesn't like pictures, but
that is amazing. I love it. But I love that she was the one who started this trend. And we talk about 2021 trends that are just started to come to light. You know, one of them being the mullet is making a comeback for females.
Yes. Yes. And we saw them a little bit on the Grammys a few weeks back, right? Yeah. And there's the odd female that I have seen, actually female, funny enough, that was able to pull it off.
Would you ever consider doing this?
No.
No?
No.
I mean,
no.
What if someone paid you to do it?
No.
No?
No. I don't.
I part of me wants to try it.
Really?
Because to me, it's like a Joan Jett style haircut.
Yeah, but Joan Jett was cool. Not that you're not cool, Tracy, but I mean, from my own perspective, like I would look like a potato head.
Well, I figured I've had so many bad haircuts in my life. What's one more, right? What's the worst that's going to happen?
Well, it could take a really long time to grow out, Tracy.
Yeah, I know. Because
you got this cut above your ears.
Ew. Yeah, maybe I won't, because they say that your hair, well, obviously, and you've told me this, your hair changes when you get older and with the hormones.
Yeah, it's not growing back as fast.
Yeah, okay, I didn't take that into consideration. Now, I do use a product, and it's supposed to make your hair grow.
Okay.
You ever heard of that mane and tail? Now talk about toxic products properly.
I have heard of this. You're using horse like shampoo.
Horse as an HO.
Yes.
RSE. Yes.
Okay. Glad you spelled that out first, Tracy.
Well, because sometimes when you say it fast, it sounds like something else. But yes, so you can get this shampoo at any pet store or farm store.
Okay, how long have you been using this, Tracy?
I've been using it for a long time. Actually,
does it work?
Yeah, it does. It makes your hair super shiny, because if you think of a tail of a horse, right? Shiny, long, full, bust in show.
Oh.
I'm supposed to be a horse sound.
Fortunately, once in a while you neigh and you stomp your foot, but you're fine. It's fine.
But
you have good hair.
Yeah, and I use that. I love it. And I use they have one for color safe hair, and they also have one where they've added olive oil so it's not as harsh on your hair. And I don't know if you remember this product. Hand and Hoof.
Open.
I think that was what it was called. Shania Twain promoted it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And do you imagine my shopping cart?
People are like, oh, she must have like a stable full of horses.
Oh, what do you do for a living? How many horses do you have?
Flocks.
I start neighing. It's for me.
I honestly, I don't, we should check the ingredients.
I know. And I'm sure that it's probably not good, because like I said, I am trying to be more mindful of what I put on me and put in me. And then this hand and hoof stuff that Shania Twain had promoted a couple of years ago. Yeah. And then there was another one. Actually, no, sorry. My bad. She promoted Udder Butter.
Oh,
not
Udder
the
Butter. Right. You know what? Now I remember that now.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah. So my bad. I was still on the horse thing, but there is hand and hoof.
There's hand and hoof. So,
yeah.
Yeah, there is.
So she promoted Udder Butter, which cows use for their udders, right?
Yeah, to keep them from chafing and
yeah, and it works. It does.
Right.
It's good for them. It's got to be good for us.
I mean, that's the thing. As we know, sometimes animals are so mistreated and they're given things that they shouldn't be given. So you'd like to think it was very natural, but you don't know.
I don't know now. But I mean, I've never actually ever touched a cow's udder. So they look nice and soft and moisturized, and
they do.
I mean, You never see an utter chafing or anything.
No, I mean, I don't think they're, I don't know how often farmers have to do that, but
I don't know, but
give them a good massage. Yeah.
Like you said, maybe it's time for everybody to take inventory of the products that we use.
Mm-hmm.
Makeup, shampoo, hair stuff. Because I mean, I have the whole line. I have the spray and conditioner.
What of the horse stuff?
Yeah.
They
There's
have
like a whole line of
conditioner.
Yeah, they do. I will send you a picture.
You actually get it at the pet store.
Well, see, this one I get at the drugstore, but you can go to the pet store and they sell this shampoo there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, once I had to go to Walmart for it and I had to go to the pet section, but it's kind of evolved that now it's in the regular, well, it's not in the regular shampoo. It's kind of like over to the side underneath, but I just know where to get it. Hey,
I don't even, you've almost left me speechless.
I know. Well, it makes your hair grow fast. And I know a lot of people are probably listening and they have either heard of this product because actually a lot of celebrities use this product and it makes your hair grow.
Yes. I recall using it years ago. I think probably in my 20s or something, I tried it out. I don't think
in the
90s.
it
worked. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I think it worked. I don't know why I stopped using it, but maybe
I liked it. I don't know. Just,
yeah.
I feel luscious. I don't know. But switching gears right now, I am looking for a book to read.
Oh, I know. Okay. So first of all, I think, put the call out to everybody because most people enjoy a really good book, however you choose to read it on your iPad or your Kindle or whatever, or physical book. Do you like a physical book?
I do. I really enjoy touching a book.
Me too. What kind? What do you like? Fiction, nonfiction?
I like autobiographies. I like true stories. I'm not like a romantic person. Like I don't need to I'm no 50 Shades of Grey reader. I'm not.
No, I don't need that either.
I'm looking for something. I mean, I actually just finished not long ago, Doug Gilmour's book.
Oh, Dougie. Yeah. You know what? I've heard that's actually quite good.
It is really good. I quite enjoyed it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I like books like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It just excites me. And we should put a call out there but I know that you're an avid reader too. So
I do, but you know what? I actually do like biographies, but I found just in the last many years, just with my son being still so small and my workload, I haven't really been able to sit down, and I have a hard time focusing and concentrating on a book for too long.
Yeah. But I do like the audiobooks for that reason.
I do too. And that's why I tend to go to that, even though I do like the physical book. Mm-hmm. I heard Tina Fey's biography is really good and funny. A lot of people, and I've wanted to try and read that one.
Okay.
Tina Fey is pretty awesome. So that's one. But you know what I do? I read, right now, my go-tos are because I can put them down. Yeah. I love health and wellness stuff, as you know, but I love really good cookbooks and I keep buying them. I buy them all the time.
There's one that I got and it was called like 101 recipes every female should know. Mm-hmm. And in there is a recipe called engagement chicken. It was from Glamour magazine. I'm not sure, but
I've heard of that.
Yes. Delish. And every time you make it, you're supposed to you get engaged after, but
wow, that's a lot of
it's really, really good. And it's super simple to do. Like some people are like, oh, lemon chicken. I mean, that's kind of a lot, but this recipe and this book, it's so easy to follow and simple.
Right. I like the Oh She Glows books. Oh She Glows, Angela Liddon. She's, I think, New York Times bestseller now. She has the best books. A lot of it's more, plant-based in that, but healthy stuff that you could add your protein, whatever you wanted to it. But I find her books are great. And she just released one just a month ago or so. That's more about dinner time meals. And I just think the Oh She Glow books, I think, are super good. And Joyous Health. Joy McCarthy from Toronto.
I love that. I'll have to check it out. And the other one that I've been focusing on is recipes geared towards hormones. It's like a popular thing that we keep saying and we keep speaking about, but relationships, product, and food, it all plays a factor in how we feel.
It sure does. It absolutely does. And we're going to get into a conversation about hormones, as I say, coming up in a week or so with a really great guest to really discuss hormones, because it affects every part of us, and it affects our sleep, and it affects our eating patterns, and our hair and our skin.
I know,
right? So that's good. I mean, you can eat for specific things, and hormones are, I'm sure, definitely one of them.
And I'm assuming I may have to change what I eat because I keep getting gray hair popping up in places I didn't think gray hair was going to pop up. Bing! Well, Well, as always, Lesley, it was a great day.
Mhm.
Good to get on here, chat, and
Yeah.
we always have a great conversation, and conversation still continues, because if you guys have missed anything, you can check us out on Spotify, on Instagram. There's
And
always something to talk about.
YouTube, and we are ready to roll always for you guys. And we always love the feedback from our viewers and our listeners. So let us know guests and topics. We're here for you.
Well, we're here for you, everybody. And I hope that you don't wake up to a random gray hair either.
Best of luck.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Life, love, and lipstick.